When you decide to chase a new goal, the first thing you feel is a powerful surge of energy. You watch an inspiring video, write down an ambitious plan, and promise yourself that this time, things are going to be different. But fast forward just a few days, and that feeling completely disappears. If we map out what actually happens, this chart plots your motivation over time. On day 1, you get a massive spike. But by day 4, that excitement violently plummets, dropping you into a flat line where procrastination easily takes over. This early failure stems from a common trap. You are attempting to power a long-term goal with an emotion designed to be temporary. When the excitement fades, the work becomes physically heavy. Waking up early feels exhausting, and forcing yourself to focus is a grueling, uncomfortable effort. Most people stop here because they are waiting for the perfect mood to return before they take another step. People who consistently hit their targets have learned to operate independently of how they feel. They rely on the cold, enduring mechanics of a habit rather than the volatility of an emotion. True growth is solidified on the days you want to quit because those are the moments that force a behavior to become a permanent system. To understand why those uninspired days feel so agonizing, we have to look at your environment. Why does normal, productive work suddenly feel impossibly boring? This diagram shows your baseline for normal focus. Every time you waste an hour scrolling through social media, you expose your brain to sharp, erratic hits of cheap dopamine. Those rapid hits artificially raise your internal threshold for what feels stimulating. Because your brain expects immediate, rapid-fire rewards, sustained effort, like studying or writing, barely even registers.
It feels like painful boredom because deep work operates down here, entirely overshadowed by the aggressive noise of your distractions. Highly consistent people solve this problem by carefully guarding their environment. They block the websites, turn off their phones, and remove the cheap hits, so that normal work can become stimulating again. Regaining your focus requires a strategy of deliberate subtraction, removing the environmental triggers that destroy your baseline. Once you fix your environment, you still have to navigate the second major trap, the obsession with instant, highly visible results. We can see the mechanics of this by comparing these two bar charts. On the left is someone attempting a massive 10-hour effort just once a week. On the right is someone executing tiny, almost invisible slivers of effort every single day. If we track the cumulative area chart for those daily actions, we hit what we can call the invisible phase. For a long stretch of time, your total progress stays completely flat. To the outside world, it looks like absolutely nothing is happening. But the math of consistency rewards endurance. Because you never stop, those tiny actions compound until the chart hits an inflection point. The daily progress curves aggressively upward, mathematically dwarfing the massive, inconsistent effort. Consistency works like building a wall. People eventually notice the finished structure, but they never see the thousands of small bricks you placed quietly in the dark. Eventually, no matter how strong your systems are, life will intervene. You will inevitably hit a day where everything goes wrong and your routine breaks. For many, a single missed day triggers a complete collapse. They assume their streak is ruined and throw away months of hard progress because they demand absolute perfection. Highly consistent people prioritize the speed of their recovery. They focus on returning to their baseline habits faster than anyone else, treating the slip-up as a statistical outlier. Surviving a bad day means treating a failure as a temporary pause. A single bad day only ruins progress if it convinces you to stop completely. The work that actually achieves your goals happens in isolation. It is a slow, relentless daily effort completed in absolute silence, with no audience to cheer for you and no immediate reward. Chasing the fleeting high of motivation will always leave you disappointed. To reach a distant goal, you must commit to the cold, reliable mechanics of discipline. Start with an action so small it feels easy. Starve your distractions by controlling your environment. And force yourself to show up, especially on the days when it feels physically painful to do so.
If you stick to the math, one day, the future version of you who actually crossed the finish line will look back, and they will thank you for refusing to stop.